It should come as no surprise to my friends and viewers that trading card games have always had a very special place in my heart. In this series, both Raikourider and myself will be opening 24 packs or one box of a core Yu-Gi-Oh set. Every week we will add an additional core set to our collections, moving in chronological order. We will use these cards to create a deck and then face off against one another in a best 2 out of 3 match, with the winner receiving 2 prizes to upgrade their deck, while the loser receives 1. These prizes can range from wildcards, to sealed product, to starter decks, and more. Every card that has been released will be available to us at least once. However, we cannot rest on our laurels. Between the ever-evolving nature of the Forbidden and Limited list, the cards that we ourselves choose to banish into the Shadow Realm, and even the way the very rules of the game will change, will keep our decks and our duels fresh. This is yet another Yu-Gi-Oh! Progression series. Well, I honestly don't even know what to say at this point. That's the second match we've lost in very convincing fashion. But you know what? That's fine, because we are really entering into some of the big leagues of Yu-Gi-Oh! And this is Magic Ruler. This is actually one of the first main sets that make a huge difference. Now, I call this Magic Ruler, and the reason is because that was what this set was originally called. But this actually was part of a legal case between Konami and Wizards of the Coast over the term Magic. Basically, because Wizards had Magic the Gathering, there was a bit of confusion with it. So what they ended up doing was they ended up changing the set name to Spell Ruler, and henceforth every Magic card became known as a spell card. So either way, it's basically the same thing set-wise and overall, but it's a fun little bit of history for you here. So let's go ahead and try to look through some of the key cards we're going to want to see. Now, Magic Ruler here is notable for having released 2 very important things. The first is that this was actually the introduction of rituals, which are a type of monster that require a specific spell card in order to summon, and you have to sacrifice monsters on your field or in your hand whose levels equal to or exceed the number of stars on the monster itself. The other big thing about it was that it also provided a lot of very powerful spell cards in the game. And in fact, this set has a number of very powerful spell cards that to this day are still banned or limited. So let's go through some of the key cards here. Starting in the super short prints, which again, short print and super short print are all common. But some of the key cards we're going to see out of these are going to be Eternal Rest, which just destroys every monster on the field that is equipped with an equipped card. This set actually introduces a number of equipped spells, so that's actually going to be something to take note of. We also have Tailor of the Fickle, which actually takes a equipped spell attached to a monster and changes it to another appropriate attack target. As a result of that, if, say, Rai equips something with a Sword of Deep-Seated and attacks us, we can actually flip this card, move that Sword of Deep-Seated to one of our monsters, and potentially get enough attack power to actually knock over that monster in the process. So the best part about this is this can activate when an attack is called, so we can actually get a surprise hit on him. And then we also have Gaia Power, Yumaruka, Molten Destruction, Rising Air Current, and Luminous Spark, which are all element or attribute-based field spells. Each of these they're given attribute of 500 attack boost at the cost of 400 defense points. Now, you're probably asking yourself, where's the dark one? Mystic Plasma Zone is actually down here in the commons. For whatever reason, it is the only one that is not a short print. Now, looking at the common cards, we have Malevolent Nuzzler, which is actually a really good card. It's actually better than Sword of Deep-Seated in every way. It increases a monster's attack by 700, And if it gets sent to the graveyard, you could pay 500 life points to stack it on top of your deck, so it's optional. Which means your opponent can't just keep popping it in order to set you back. Scrolling through, we have a few generic monsters. Nothing that's necessarily too big. However, this is actually one card that I'm hoping Rai doesn't catch on to. This is called Weather Report, and this is actually a very scary monster in our situation. It's a flip monster, and when it flips, it destroys any Swords of Revealing Light that is face up on the opponent's field. And if it's destroyed, then you're allowed to perform your battle phase twice in this turn, or your next turn if it gets flipped up during your opponent's turn. So basically, the problem with this card is that if he has this and I get flipped up for any reason, and I have Swords of Revealing Light face up, I not only lose that card, but he gets to attack twice in a turn, essentially, which can be very bad for us. So that's actually a really important thing to take note of. Scrolling down here, we actually have Upstart Goblin, which at the time wasn't really paid attention to very much. However, it is very good. Because it lets you draw a card, but your opponent gains 1,000 life points, which in a slower game, yeah, it does set you back a little bit, but overall, it's not that big a deal. And if you could cut your deck down a little bit and get your deck more consistent, then it's worth it. Chorus of Sanctuary gives all monsters on the field that are in defense mode 500 defense points. Reliable Guardian gives a quick 700 defense point boost to a monster as a quick effect, so it can be activated during the damage step. We're gonna find the other one later. Labyrinth Wall is actually a pretty good monster. It's a 1 tribute 3000 defense monster, which can be really hard to beat over. And then we start seeing the ritual cards here. Commencement Dance goes with Performance of Sword, which is a level 6 warrior with 1950 attack. Hamburger Recipe goes with Hungry Burger, which is a level 6 warrior monster with 2000 attack. And Turtle Oath here goes with Crab Turtle, which is a level 8 aqua monster with 2550 attack. If we can get a playset of Crab Turtle and Turtle Oath, we're more than likely going to be running that. Spear Green is a very infamous card in this set. If it gets flipped face up and then sent to your graveyard afterwards, both players could take a monster in their graveyard and flip it face down in defense mode, or summon it in a face up attack mode. If you have 2 copies of Spear Green, you could basically infinite loop your opponent, and basically it'll help keep them from being attacked. It helps keep you from taking damage, and in the process also helps slow your opponent down. Sonic Bird is a really good card here because it lets you search for a ritual spell card when it's normal summoned or flip summoned, which if we're going to be running a ritual deck, then that's kind of important for us. As I mentioned earlier, Mystic Plasma Zone gives all dark monsters 500 attack because they're defense by 400. And then we actually have a fair number of cards here that originally were only in Legend of Blue Eyes. However, the reason they're showing here is because this is actually showing part of the European Magic Roller set, which had a number of Legend of Blue Eyes cards attached to it. However, barring any mistake with the pack opener, we should not be seeing any of these. So, hopefully that's the case. Now, scrolling up into the rares, we actually have some very important cards here too. Rush Recklessly gives 700 attack points to a monster so you can activate it during the damage step. Horn of the Unicorn gives 700 attack and defense to a monster, and if this card is destroyed, it automatically goes to the top of your deck. So basically, it's a similar issue to Sword of Deep-Seated. Cyberjar is very good and very dangerous. it destroys all monsters on the field when it's flipped, and then both players excavate the top 5 cards of their deck, reveal them, and then any level 4 or lower monster that can be special summoned gets placed on the field in face-up attack or face-down defense, and then the other cards go to your hand. This can refill the field pretty easily, and it helps with a lot of draw. Senju of the Thousand Hands basically acts like Sonic Bird, however it goes for ritual monsters instead. So once again, if we run a ritual deck, we're going to want to see a couple of these. And then we have Giant Germ and Nimble Momonga. These actually are very similar in that if they're destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, they do two things. Giant Germ will inflict 500 damage to your opponent. Nimble Momonga gives you 1,000 life points. Then you can special summon up to 2 copies of the same monster from your deck to the field. With Giant Germ, they go in attack mode, face up. Nimble Momonga brings them in face down defense. And then the final rares of note are the Raikouriders, which are Giant Rat, UFO Turtle, Shining Angel, Mother Grizzly, Flying Kamakiri #1, and Mystic Tomato. If they're destroyed by battle and sent to the graveyard, you can summon a monster of their element, or their attribute rather, with up to 1500 attack from your deck in attack mode. Note, all of these monsters have less than 1500 attack, which means they can actually float into another copy of themselves. So you can actually run 3 of them, float into them, and then on the last one, summon an applicable monster. So for the sake of right now, and later on especially, we're really going to want to see Giant Rat, Mystic Tomato for sure, and probably Shining Angel. If we see any of the others, they might be situationally useful later on. So now we're going up into the super rares, and this is where some of the big hits come in. First off, we have Black Pendant, which is just a basic equipped spell of 500 attack points, and then if it's sent to the graveyard from the field, you deal 500 damage to your opponent. Nothing too spectacular, but sometimes that little bit of damage can make a difference. Maha Vilo is actually one of the first key ones we want to talk about here. This thing, if it's equipped to an equipped spell, it gains 500 attack points on top of whatever effects that equipped spell provides. So if you give it, say, Horn of the Unicorn, for example, that raises its power from 1550 to 2750, because it gives the 700 from Horn of the Unicorn plus an extra 500. It can get really powerful really quickly. Confiscation is one of the big ones we want to see. You can pay 1,000 life points, then look at your opponent's hand and discard 1 card out of it. Hand knowledge is very useful, especially early on. So if we could use this and find out what Rai has, that can really help us out, and we can steal a big card out of it. Giant Trunade is another good card. It lets you send all spell and traps on the field back to the owner's hands. So this is a good way to clear out the back row if you want to make a push. Black Illusion Ritual is going to be important for a ritual monster that we're going to see in a moment. And then finally we have the big boy of the super rares, Painful Choice. This is considered one of the strongest, if not the absolute strongest card in Yu-Gi-Oh! You select 5 cards from your deck and show them to your opponent. Your opponent picks one of them and adds it to your hand, and then the other ones get sent straight to the graveyard. Now, originally this card wasn't all that strong, because you were basically pitching 4 good cards to get 1. However, later down the road, it gets much, much better, because a lot of cards have effects that work in the graveyard, or when they're sent to the graveyard, so Painful Choice could let you plus very high, very easily. And honestly, if we pull this, we're going to probably try to keep that a secret for a little while, because we know full well that Painful Choice is going to be really powerful, and odds are if he knows about this early on, that might be one of his first targets for a ban, because depending on how these matches go, he might get a ban at the end of the season. So now we're going up into the ultra rares. So Axe of Despair is a good one. It gives 1,000 attack points to your monster, and then if it's sent to the graveyard, you could tribute a monster and stack this to the top of your deck. Relinquished is the ritual monster that goes with Black Illusion Ritual. It lets you steal an opponent's monster, give it its attack and defense, and then if it's destroyed in battle, you destroy the equipped monster instead, and it keeps relinquished on the field. Megamorph is actually a pretty good card, but it's a bit situational. If your life points are higher than your opponent's, the equipped monster's original attack is cut in half. If your life points are lower, the original attack is doubled. So if we're super behind, we can actually equip this to a monster and make it massive, or if we're a little bit ahead in life points, we can actually equip this to something Rai has and cut its attack down to practically nothing. And then up here we have 4 really powerful cards here. Snatch Steal lets you steal an opponent's monster that's face up, and then during each of their standby phases they gain 1,000 life points. Delinquent Duo, you pay 1,000 life points, you get to pitch 2 cards out of your opponent's hand. Granted, one of them is random and the other one is the opponent's choice, but if they lose 2 cards early on, that's a really good way to mess up their hand and disrupt them. The Forceful Sentry lets you look at your opponent's hand and then pick a card and shuffle it back into the deck. Again, hand knowledge and getting a card out of there early is good. And then we have Mystical Space Typhoon. Simply just destroy 1 spell or trap on the field, no questions asked. It is a bit iffy, simply because of the fact that it's a 1-for-1, and we already have Heavy Storm. However, anytime we get more back row removal, that's better. And then for the secret rares, honestly, neither of them are anything to really talk about. Serpent Knight Dragon's at least decent because it's a true tribute monster we can work with, but it's kind of weak. Garnicia Elephantis is actually stronger than it, so we really don't want to pay attention to those. So we're going to go ahead and open up 24 packs of this, and hopefully we hit some really good stuff out of it. But before we do that, we're actually going to also discuss the new Forbidden and Limited list, or specifically, it is just a Limited list. Because Forbidden cards didn't happen until 2004 or 2005, if I remember correctly. So basically, their only changes here are Mirror Force gets added as a one of, and then Witch of the Black Forest and Sangan and Heavy Storm become 2 copies. They become semi-limited. So for the purposes of our series, or specifically our deck, these actually don't make any difference because we only have 1 Witch and 1 Heavy Storm. We don't have either Sangan or Mirror Force right now, so this actually makes no difference to us. So now let's go ahead and get into the pack pulls. Okay, so 24 packs of Magic Ruler. Let's hope for the best here. Flip them up. And right off the bat, we actually see a pretty good opening pack here. A copy of Turtle Oath, which we really want to see. Chorus of Sanctuary could be pretty good for later. Rush Recklessly, a copy of that is going to be good. That's going to basically be a nice little battle trick that doesn't rely on being a trap card. And Gravekeeper's Servant is actually an interesting little stall card. Your opponent cannot attack unless they send a card from the top of their deck to the graveyard. There are certain combos you could pull off later down the road, which will prevent your opponent from attacking, period. But for right now, this is kind of unimportant to us in the long run. Okay, so we hit a Gaia Power, which is pretty nice. And we see a Mother Grizzly, so that might actually be kind of useful down the road. Hungry Burger's here, so I mean, if worst comes to worst, we could try to summon that later, but I really want to see Crab Turtle more than anything. Okay, so 3rd pack in, we hit a Black Pendant Super Rare, which is actually not bad. Granted, I would prefer a different Super Rare if I could, but for a holo so early on, I'm not going to complain too much. Also, we hit another copy of Turtle Oath, so that's our 2nd one, and an Upstart Goblin. So hopefully we can hit the rest of the sets we need for those. Okay, so 2nd Upstart Goblin and a Flying Kamakiri number 1. We also get a Tailor of the Fickle and our first Mystic Plasma Zone, so overall pretty decent pack. Nothing massive out of it, but pretty good commons in here. Okay, so we hit a Luminous Spark and a Giant Rat, which are both pretty useful. Again, hopefully we can hit more than 1 Giant Rat, but still pretty good. Okay, so there's our 3rd Turtle Oath, another Chorus of Sanctuary, and our first Spear Cretin. So if we can hit a 2nd Spear Cretin, we can at least know we could do the loop if we need to. Okay, so we have our 3rd Chorus of Sanctuary, We have an Eternal Rest, which is actually pretty good. And we have a Mystic Tomato. So hopefully we can hit another Mystic Tomato at the very least, because that'll be very good for us for later down the road. Okay, so Cyber Jar. Pretty good pull. And a second Luminous Spark. So, you know what? I'll take this for the pack. That's not bad. Oh, man. Okay, so second Mystic Tomato, which is good. And a second Black Pendant. I mean, it's a good card. Again, it's a good card, but that's a super rare. That could have been Confiscation. That could have been Giant Shroonade. That could have been Painful Choice. Like, come on, dude. Give us something great here. Holy shit. Okay, so first off, second Mystic Plasma Zone. Very happy to see that. Crab Turtle. That's our first one. Really hoping we hit 2 more, because we're 15 packs in. We need 2 more of these. Another Malevolent Nuzzler, which is pretty good. Our first UFO Turtle, which is kind of eh. But Spellbinding Circle for an ultra rare. That's actually a pretty good card. What it does is it lets you pick a monster your opponent controls. It cannot attack or switch its battle position. And if I remember correctly, it doesn't actually require the monster to be face up. Yep, okay, good. So what that means is if he sets a monster that we're pretty sure it has a flip effect, we can actually flip this up on it and make it to where he can't flip it over. So that's actually a pretty good card, and it's a good way to shut down an attacker. Okay, so just like that, we actually get our second Crab Turtle and a second Senju of the Thousand Hands, which is really important for us because I think we've already hit 1 Sonic Bird. So 1 Sonic Bird and 2 Senju is actually not a bad setup for that. Okay, I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting a little bit discouraged now because we've only seen the 3 holos so far, and we're actually on pack number 20. So I'm kind of hoping we see something soon, because otherwise we're gonna be in a little bit of trouble here. Okay, so I actually just want to mention this card because we're never going to get a chance to talk about this again. This is actually a very interesting card. It's called Curse of Fiend. The effect itself is actually not all that important. You change the battle positions of all attack monsters on the field to defense mode and vice versa, and they can't be changed during the rest of this turn. So, aside from a card effect. Now, here's the crazy part. This is a normal spell card, but you can only activate it during your standby phase. This is one of the only cards that I'm aware of that lets you activate it outside of a phase that you normally would be able to. But it's a really crappy card, but I just wanted to point it out anyway, just because it was kind of cool. So we're actually down to the last couple packs here. And oh my god, are you kidding me? We hit another goddamn secret rare. Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. God, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. If this were like real life, this would be a hell of a pull because that'd be $100-something right there. But given the fact that this requires Toon World on its own, we are not going to be able to make use of that. However, I do see a Rush Recklessly, and that's our second one, so that's actually not bad, and a second Sonic Bird. So at least this pack's not too bad. Oh my god, another super rare, Banisher of the Light. This one's actually not that great for us. While it's face up on the field, any card they would get sent to the graveyard gets banished instead. This is actually one of those cards that would help with the Gravekeeper Servant lock, because since Gravekeeper Servant requires sending the card to the graveyard, if Banisher of the Light is on the field, your opponent cannot fill the condition, so your opponent actually cannot launch an attack. So if Rai actually has this combo, we're going to have to keep that in mind and find a way to pop either this card or the Gravekeeper Servant. However, for our purposes, we are not going to be trying that. Second Cyber Jar, though, which is actually kind of nice. Alright, we're on the last pack, and so far we're kind of missing a couple key things, to be honest. We've hit a couple of Mystic Tomato, which is nice. We've hit a couple Rush Recklessly, which is nice. We've hit a couple Senju and a couple Sonic Bird, which is really nice. However, we still have not seen any of the big super rares that we really want to see. And we actually only have 2 crab turtle, which if we can hit if we really hit the 3rd turtle, that's going to be really helpful for us. So, last pack, come on, baby. And unfortunately, we did not get it. We do get a labyrinth wall, though, which is actually not the worst. But, yeah, for the rest of this pack, this is actually a bit of a bummer. So, we're going to have to see what we can make do with this. So, let's get into the deck edit and find out what we're going to do. Okay, so here's the deck, and yeah, honestly, as much as it's... Okay, I'll put it this way. It's not as busted as I was hoping it was going to be after this set, but if I don't win this match, I will honestly be kind of surprised. So let's go by card here. So first off, we have 1 copy of Big Eye. I decided to pitch the other one away because getting the effect once is okay. Trying to get the effect twice is kind of iffy, especially because I've noticed that with it being 5 cards, if we don't have a way to shuffle the deck or draw the cards quickly, then it kind of gets a bit stagnant. Speaking of drawing cards, we have 2 copies of Cyberjar. Most of our monsters here, except for 1, are level 4 or low. Well, except for 3 monsters, everything we have for monsters are level 4 and lower. So, and honestly, like 2 of them are crab turtles, so we really want to get those in our hand anyway. So, if we draw them from this, it's not that big a deal. 2 copies of Magician of Faith. I decided to cut this down a little bit just for the sake of, once again, having a little chance of offense more than anything. However, we are going to have our 3rd one sitting in the side deck, so if we decide we need her back in, we could do that. 1 copy of Manator Bug because, once again, monster removal is a thing that we need. 2 copies of Senju of the Thousand Hands and 2 copies of Sonic Bird. That'll help us pull out the 2 copies of Crab Turtle and Turtle Loath we have. I would have done a 3-3 line of Crab Turtle and Turtle Loath had I had 3 Crab Turtle. 1 copy of Witch of the Black Forest. Thank you from those extra packs from last time. We can finally have this, and honestly, I feel like Witch might be the better one between the 2 of her and Sandgen. 3 copies of 7-Colored Fish. Again, we need good beaters, so that'll work out. 1 copy of Aquamador and 1 copy of Giant Soldier Death Stone. The reason I took these in, I swapped in the Aquamador and took away from a couple Prevent Rats, is simply because of Rai using Shield and Sword. At least Aquamador and Giant Soldier of Stone have somewhat decent attack stats, so if they get swapped into that, it's not that big a deal. Whereas Prevent Rat and Spirit of the Harp are both at really low points for attack, so if they get swapped around, then they're in trouble. 1 copy of Labyrinth Wall, primarily just to kind of act as a big wall in case he doesn't have Shield and Sword or swapped them around or already used it. The 1 Prevent Rat, 2 Spirit of the Harp, 2 Crab Turtle, and then on our spells we have 1 Heavy Storm, 3 Malevolent Nuzzler. We really want to get a monster that can overpower his, and these are probably the best way to do it. 1 Paralyzing Potion in case we really need to stop something from attacking. 1 Pot of Greed, 1 Raigeki, 2 Rush Recklessly. I kind of wish we had 3, but this will make a good battle trick, and it gets out of worries about trap card destruction. 1 Stop Defense, our Swords of Revealing Light, 3 copies of Tailor of the Fickle. This one actually is going to serve 2 purposes for us. The first is that it's going to allow us to steal as an equip spell if Rai uses any, and second, this will also allow us to move one of our equip spells to another of our monsters if need be. So if he tries to run over our weaker monster on the field, we could flip this up, swipe over the equip spell, and get a surprise hit off on him. And then the 2 copies of Turtle Oath. And then for the 2 trap cards, we have Robin Goblin. I don't know how often this is going to actually matter, but if we could snatch a card here and there from his hand, it'll be worth it. And then the Spellbinding Circle. Extra deck is pretty much the same thing as before. Notice we actually took the polymerizations out of the main deck. The reason is because that all is going to be in the side deck in case we end up needing to go back to that strategy. In the side, we have 1 Magician of Faith, 1 Mask of Darkness. Decided to cut it down to 1 since we're not going to be using too many of them. The 2 Tainted Wisdom, the 2 Ancient Brain, 2 White Magical Hat, the Garnetia Elephantis. I figure Crab Turtle's going to be our primary win con anyway, so Elephantis is kind of less useful. 2 copies of Eternal Rest. This is primarily so that way, if it turns out Rai is focusing heavily on equipped spells, we can use these to destroy his monsters. And if worse comes to worse, we could even equip a Malevolent Nuzzler to his monster, or the Paralyzing Potion, and then pop it that way. The 2 Polymerization, and then we move the Dragon Capture Jars back to the side. Yes, he had Blackland Fire Dragon last time, but that is a weaker dragon, so I figure he might not use them again. And if he has Trihorn Dragon out, then we could side this in and deal with it that way. So guys, we're going to go into the game, and hopefully we can take him out this time around, because I really don't want to have this series start with 3 losses. So, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to duel. Alright, so, Magic Ruler, huh?
Magic Ruler indeed. This set has some really nutty, really game-changing cards, and there's a lot of scary stuff that you could have, but there's also a bunch of scary stuff that I could have. So,
so that's going to be a big concern.
It will be. Hopefully I can make this 3 in a row. That would sure be nice.
Oh, well, that's a start. I think I lost the first 2 rock, paper, scissors, and...
Paper gang, baby! I'll take play. Good luck, duelist.
Damn you and your paper strats.
Alright, draw for turn. Stand by main. Wow, this is not a very good hand. Wow. I am just going to set 2 back row and pass.
Oh, interesting. Alright, I draw, stand by main. Honestly, this is not a great setup either. I think I'm just gonna set a monster, and I will set a card, and pass it over to you.
Draw for turn, stand by main. Wow. Super awkward. I'm just gonna set a monster and pass.
Riveting. Alright, I
Riveting
draw.
gameplay.
That is not what I was expecting or hoping for. I guess I will just set another monster and I will pass.
Draw for turn, stand by main. You're gonna get to see one of the new cards that I got, and one that might not be on your radar. It is the Stern Mystic.
What is this?
Starter deck Yugi.
Reveal all face-down cards on the field. Flip effects are not activated to return them to their original position. What the fuck? Alright.
Yeah, it's a card.
And that's all face-down cards on the field. So I get to see your cards too then.
You do. You get to see what I'm working with. I have a Tailor of the Fickle and a Book of Secret Arts.
Interesting. I have
What are you working with?
Okay, I have a Spirit of the Harp, a Man-Eater Bug, and a Tailor of the Fickle.
Oh, you're on that main deck too.
And then
okay then.
And then we set
I am very happy to know about that Man-Eater Bug.
Yeah, I kind of was hoping for that to not be known about just yet, but oh well.
Let's proceed to the battle phase. Get this out of the way.
Yeah, go ahead and pop the Mystic.
All right, after combat, set another monster. Go ahead. Card. Right. I bet that card wasn't on your radar at all, was it?
It really wasn't. I kind of forgot that was a thing. Uh,
I know, when I was going through the cards that I had gotten out of the Yugi starter deck, I'm like, wait, this card is actually kind of good.
Alright, I'll set a monster and pass.
Draw for turn, stand by, main.
The fact that you have a Book of Secret Arts makes me wonder what the hell you have to work with it. I mean, granted, the Stern Mystic is a spellcaster too, but I can't imagine you would put the spellbook in there just for that.
I'll flip up my Ryukushin powered.
Gross. Okay.
Go for Malevolent Nuzzler.
Oh, that's double gross.
Battle phase, 23 into your 2K defender.
Okay, I will flip. And... yeah, you got it.
Yeah, we went over this. I went over this interaction in deck building. You can't activate Tailor the Fickle during damage step.
Which is kind of crappy, to be honest.
Go!
Alright. Draw. Standby main. That doesn't really help a lot, but... actually, that really doesn't help a lot. Okay, I'm gonna activate my Paralyzing Potion and equip it to your Ryukushin.
You got it.
And I'm going to set a card and pass the turn.
Draw for turn, stand by main. I am going to set a monster and pass the turn because my Ryukushin powered can't stack.
Okay, you know what? This actually can help a lot. I'm going to summon a 7-color fish.
Sure, you got it.
And I'm going to activate my own Malevolent Nuzzler.
That's pretty good.
Alright, so battle phase. Let's go ahead and clear out this Ryukushin.
I will take 200 points damage.
Will you pay to return the Malevolent Nuzzler?
I actually will.
Oh, interesting. Alright. Go.
Alright, draw for turn, stand by, main. Well... how lucky do you feel?
No way.
It's a Cyber Jar.
Oh, okay. I was about to say, don't tell me you're playing fucking Time Wizard.
Nope.
Alright, you got my Stone Soldier.
That's not bad. That's not bad either.
Whoa, that's some cards. A Moth, Dark Elf, Soldier, and a Pot of Greed. Wow, you're running Horn of the Unicorn?
What do you have? I see. I see. Crab turtles.
Azure would be very angry with me. Unfortunately, I don't get their effects.
No, you do not.
And then these will go to my hand.
Yep. Yep.
Well, the nice thing is I at least don't have to worry about your Magician of Faith just yet.
Pot of Greed.
Alright.
Well then. Well, I'm gonna have to trip the Cyber Jar eventually, so I may as well just attack.
Yeah, I don't blame you for that one. Because otherwise I'd be getting a free Crab Turtle next turn also.
I figured as much. See what we get. Well, those are cards I did not want you to see.
Holy shit, you got a Solemn and a Mirror Force? Hold up.
Yeah.
And a Mahavilo. Okay, so that explains the Book of Secret Arts now.
Yes, it does.
Oh, God.
Yeah, I did not want you to see those, but yeah, those are cards. He
Oh,
can't.
jeez.
Moses can't stay away from me.
Evidently.
I mean, double rush recklessly is pretty nuts too.
Ugh.
So
So do you want to crash your, do you want to crash your Mahavilo into my fish?
sure, may as well get it off. Or sure, may as well get it off the board.
Wait. Okay, I don't know why you did that. I meant like, ram it into my 7-colored fish.
No, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm actually going to fisher away the Aquamador. I needed it face up.
Oh, I see.
Because I have. I think I've already normaled this turn.
Um... Let's see. I don't think you actually did. Because you had a Cyberjar face down and flipped it up.
You are right. You are right. I have not normaled this turn. I am going to set a monster and then set 1, 2, 3 back row.
Gee.
Yay! I avoided having to discard the hand size. Go ahead.
Gee, I wonder what 2 of those were.
We'll have fun playing around them.
Yeah, unfortunately that's gonna be a pain, but... Hmm. This is actually a kind of a struggle here.
Well, I'm also just kind of scared of you too, because this is what happens when multiple cyber jars go off in one turn.
True.
I'm going to be so glad next episode when we only have to deal with one of those per deck.
Okay. I think I'm gonna go ahead and activate my Turtle Oath. Do you have a response?
No, that's fine.
So I will send my 7-colored fish and my Sonic Bird to special summon the Crab Turtle.
Yep, I was wondering if you're going to be on turtles, but now it's just very clear.
As sad as it is, this is kind of like the strong... I think this is the strongest monster I've got available to me at the moment.
It's a big boy.
Alright, so... I'm going to set a monster... And then I'm going to set 1, 2, 3 cards.
Yup. Draw for turn. Stand by main. I am going to... I have to ponder for a bit. This is a complicated board. If you want to start up again, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to flip up my Hane Hane, not bin it. I'm going to flip up my Hane Hane, and I am going to bounce your Crab Turtle.
Oh. Well, damn, okay. That resolves.
I am going to change my Witch of the Black Forest to attack position. Then I think at this point I kind of just go all in. I'm going to activate Book of Secret Arts targeting Mahavilo.
Okay.
I'm going to activate Malevolent Nuzzler targeting Mahavilo.
Oh my god, okay.
I'm going to proceed to the battle phase. If I get punished by this, I get punished by it. Witch into your set.
You hit my Magician of Faith, so I get to retrieve... Huh. Shoot. I feel like I actually have to take the Paralyzing Potion.
Alright, 3550. Big hit.
Well, I'm going to try to cut it down a little bit. I'm going to activate Tailor of the Fickle, targeting your Malevolent Nuzzler, and I'm going to actually shift it to your Witch of the Black Forest.
Sure. So now the Mahavilo is 2350. And then 450.
And I will take that.
I will proceed to the end phase, and I will discard Giant Soldier of Stone to hand size and pass.
Alright, draw. Ooh.
This is what happens when multiple Cyber Jars go off.
Yeah, it is. Okay. I'm going to activate the Paralyzing Potion and target your Mahavilo.
Sure. Sure, Mahavilo can't attack.
Okay. And... Ugh, I don't like it, but I'm going to have to pass the turn.
I am going to, at the end phase, I'm going to move your Paralyzing Potion to my Hane Hane.
Okay. Oh, wait, what am I doing?
It's still equipped, just the Hane Hane can't attack.
Okay.
Then I will draw for my turn, stand by main. I'm going to equip another Malevolent Nuzzler to the Mahavilo.
Oh my god, okay.
And I think... Is this lethal? Because that's 3950. I actually think this is lethal if you can't do anything about it. But yeah, battle phase. Well, no, the Nuzzler was moved to the Witch of the Black Forest, so this is 18.
I will take the 18.
And then the Mahavilo is 15, 18, 25, 35, 50? Yes, 3550.
Well, let's see if you didn't play it. I'm going to activate Tailor of the Fickle to move Paralyzing Potion back onto your Philo.
I am in a judgment this.
Yep.
Yeah, it's without backer removal main deck, it's so hard to play around that. Game 2. Let's see if this one goes any better for you. I wasn't lying when I said my deck was nutty.
Yeah, that was some crazy stuff right there, but... Alright, I'm gonna go first, and let's see what I can get here. Okay, so draw, stand by main. I'm gonna start by setting a monster and passing.
Alright, draw for turn, stand by main. I will start things off with Pot of Grief.
Yeah, that's good. I don't like it,
Eh,
but it's good.
I am going to set a monster, set a back row, and pass.
Alright, draw. Um. Alright. I'm gonna summon out a 7-colored fish,
You got it.
and I'm gonna go ahead and equip a Malevolent Nuzzler.
Big boy.
Alright. Time for the seafood to bite back.
Who's doing the biting again? It's a Hane Hane. Put it back.
Gah. Alright, fine. Main phase 2, I'll set a card, and I will pass.
Draw for turn. Stand by main. Ryokushin powered.
Yeah, that's fine.
16 into your set. 2K defender. Yep.
Yep, it's my Giant Soldier of Stone, so...
That's what I thought. Had to be sure. Go ahead.
Alright. Draw. Stand by main. Ooh, that is not... I mean, that's not the worst, but... I'm gonna summon out a 7-colored fish.
You got it.
I'm gonna set a card. And then... This is tough, because now I know you have a Mirror Force.
It's almost worse when you know that it's there.
I think I'm gonna play around it a little bit and just pass.
Okay, I will draw for turn. Stand by main. If you want to play the waiting game, I'm okay with playing the waiting game. Go ahead.
Alright. Draw, stand by main. Huh. I think I will set a monster, and I will pass.
Draw for turn. Stand by main. Flip Cyberjar.
Ah, crap. Yeah, you got it.
I mean, that's how you deal with 2K defenders, apparently. Let's see what we get. Oh, you have a Raigeki. That's pretty scary.
Yeah, I picked it up on a wild card.
Yeah, that's pretty scary.
Well, I guess we both exposed something we didn't want to show because of a Cyberjar.
Yup. Those go to hand, not to grave. So I get this to my hand.
And there's the
You know
last
what?
will.
You know the sad thing is, I almost wanna just
pop it again.
I almost just want to use the stop defense that I got on the Cyberjar just to go again. I'm thinking about it.
God damn it.
I'm actually thinking about it. Do I want to do that is the question. I haven't normaled this turn. You know what? Let's go.
Oh, fine.
Let's go. Those are cards.
Are you shitting me? Another one!
This is why this card gets limited in Pharaoh Serpent.
Ugh, God.
Okay. So Senju, Double Malevolent, Robin, Goblin, huh?
What were the other cards you had?
The other cards I picked up were Black Pendant Card Destruction.
Alright. Oh my god, card destruction 2. Ugh.
Alright. Unfortunately, I did kind of not hit what I wanted to. So... I am going to set some cards.
Oh no. Please do not tell me you're gonna actually fire off the fucking card destruction.
No, I'm not actually going to activate card destruction. The problem is, I would probably deck before you would. So I am actually going to pass the turn and pitch the card destruction to hand size. Go.
God, this is insane. Okay, straw, standby, main. What the fuck am I doing with this? Like,
Hey, I just could not imagine playing Yu-Gi-Oh! When 3 Cyberjar was allowed. Because this is what happens.
oh yeah.
Like, Cyberjar is a nutty card.
Let me think. Do I actually have what I need to finish this?
And think, people want to put this back at 1.
Yeah. Oh man. Do I really want to... Yeah, well, shoot. You have Solemn as a... Well, okay, you have Solemn as an option, but we have not seen it picked up from any of the Cyber Jars going off. So,
Somehow.
unless it's already in... Unless it was already in your hand... And I'm fairly certain you don't have Trap Hole. Okay, you know what? Why not? Let's go for broke. I'm gonna activate Raigeki.
Sure, you got it.
Get
If
that.
anything, just to not have to deal with another Cyberjar.
Oh yeah. Alright. I'm going to flip summon my Senju of the Thousand Hands.
Yep, go get your turtle. This could actually be pretty bad, because there might be ritual summons, plural, happening this turn. That could be scary.
I'm going to normal summon my Sonic Bird.
Well, there's going to be one ritual summon happening this turn.
So we're gonna find out if we're turtly enough for the Turtle Club. I'm gonna...
Quiet, Gauge.
I'm gonna fire off the Turtle Oath. Any response?
Yep. No, that's fine.
So I'm gonna pitch Spirit of the Harp and my other Senju in my hand.
I mean, if you can make double Crab Turtle this turn, hats off to you.
Alright. I'm going to flip summon my Aquamador.
Yup.
I'm going to activate Rush Recklessly and target my Crab Turtle.
Oh, don't tell me you have double Rush Recklessly.
Well, I don't. I do, however, have Heavy Storm.
That's pretty good. Yeah, Heavy Storm is a hell of a card. You get a bunch of Eclipse. Also, Black Pendant will trigger take 500.
That is fine. So let's go ahead and just do that right now so I can pay attention.
So this is, I believe, 7250 total.
Well, we're gonna go ahead.
Oh, yeah, that's enough. Figured as much.
Woo! Finally won a game.
game 3. First game 3 of the series. Let's make it a good one.
Yeah, let's
Good
see.
luck. Draw for turn. Whenever dueling book cooperates. There it goes. Stand by main. Let's see here. What do I want to do? I think I'm going to set a back row and then fire card destruction.
Oh, that's gross. You got my Cyberjar right from the jump.
Oh, geez, your hand was cracked. Wow. I'm going to set a monster and end my turn.
Alright, draw. Stand by main. Ugh, god damn. Alright, I'm going to set a monster, set one card, and pass the turn.
Draw for turn, stand by main. I'm going to put your monster back.
Alright.
Vangen.
Yeah, that's fine.
1450 total.
Okay.
Pass the turn.
Alright, draw. Oh, finally, that's a good card. Let's fire off a Pot of Greed.
Pot of Greed's good.
Ooh, that ain't bad. Let's see, what are you... Okay, let's get a little bit of insurance on this one. I'm gonna summon a Witch of the Black Forest.
Got it.
I'm going to activate my Malevolent Nuzzler and equip it to my Witch.
That's 18.
And let's go punch that Hane in the face.
Alright, 1350 in.
And I will pass.
Draw for turn, stand by main. This doesn't feel good, but I am going to Fisher away the Witch.
Alright. So, I will choose not to bring the Nuzzler back, but let's see. What can we retrieve? You know what? I kind of feel like grabbing one of these.
Oh boy. May as well get in this damage while I can. 1,000.
Yeah.
Go.
Draw. Stand by main. I will set a monster. Set a card. Could be anything.
Could be anything. Could be anything. Obviously, it's the Cyberjar. And I kind of want to find out. I kind of want to find out before we go to combat.
Well,
is it the Cyberjar?
It's actually my Magician of Faith. And I'm going to retrieve my Turtle Oath.
Over Pot of Greed, interesting. That's interesting. Battle phase. 7.
Yeah, I'll take that.
I'm gonna say you want to rush recklessly, you trade with Sankin. I didn't think so. Go ahead.
Alright, draw. Stand by
I
main.
didn't think you want to trade with that.
You know what? This is actually going to be kind of funny. I'm going to normal summon my Senju of the Thousand Hands.
Well, I know you have ritual material.
I'm going to add a crab turtle to my hand. Then I'm going to activate Turtle Oath.
Sure.
I'm going
You can have a big bungus.
I'm going to pitch my crab turtle.
Yeah, I knew you had that one. Yep. Yeah, it's a big bungus.
Alright. Let's go eat that little hairball.
Sure. That is 1550 in. I will... What do I want here? Do I really have to play the Cyberjar game here? Because I really don't want to. I don't think I have a choice, though, with that turtle on the table. And then the 14 I'll take.
Yeah. Main phase 2, I will set a card and pass the turn.
Draw for turn, stand by, main. I am going to activate D-Spell, targeting your new set.
Well, you're no fun.
That could have been really bad. I'm going to... I really don't like the way I have to do this, but I'm going to normal summon Mahavilo.
Ooh.
Go to battle phase. Attack into Stenju.
Alright.
Oh, please don't tell me there's a trick. Good. Good. Main phase 2, Fisher. Get the crab out of there, please.
Ugh.
Go. This has had some back and forth to it.
Yeah.
The problem is I know there's a Cyberjar coming.
Yeah, the question is, whose side is it coming down on? Alright, let's go with the 7-colored fish.
That's pretty good.
I'm going to activate my Malevolent Nuzzler.
You got it.
Battle. Let's take care of that.
950 in. 950 in. Not too happy about this. Life total's starting to get a little low. Alright, draw for turn. Stand by main. Is this really right? Hang on, I gotta think about this one. I've got two different lines. I'm trying to figure out what the play is here. I have two different lines that I could go. Okay, I know what I'm going to do. I am going to set a monster and pass.
Gee, I wonder what that could be. Well, I might as well... I know what it is, but I might as well set it off on my terms.
Yeah, it's the Cyberjar. I had a couple different things I was thinking about, but that was the safe play, because then if you summon another monster, I just lose. That Raigeki is bad news. No monsters, though. So that means you might have to actually fire the Raigeki on your turn.
Hold the hell up. You got a confiscation?
Yeah, I got a confi too. Magic Ruler was really nice to me.
God damn.
Well, I guess what this means is this just forces you to use the Raigeki this turn. I mean, it's gonna force it, or I'm just gonna take it from you.
Yeah. God, I hate that I have to do that. But...
Yep. I will get Mahavilo with not to the board. To
oh
hand.
my god, 1400.
Yeah, you can get Mahavilo off which it's so nice.
Alright, well, I will set a card, and then I will set 1, 2, 3.
Clearly, because you don't want me taking them out of your hand. Drop return, standby main. Let's go Mahavilo.
Yeah.
Nuzzler. Battle phase 2750.
Haha, you've attacked my man-eater bug.
That's not good.
Will you pay 500?
No. No, I'm just gonna last will for a blocker.
Oh, shit. I forgot you had that.
I really just need to last will for something I can put in front of my face.
Hey.
It's not very good. Go.
Draw. Standby main. And I'm going to set a card and pass.
Drop for turn, standby main. Boy, this feels like being on a knife's edge right now. This game. This is so tough. I will set a monster and pass.
Alright, draw. Standby main. Is that... Okay, that might actually be enough to clear it. I'm gonna flip my Magician of Faith.
Oh, you have Raigeki. Ugh. That's really bad. Yeah, there was no way I could play around that, whether I attacked it or not.
Alright. So, let's fire it off.
Yup.
Alright, I'll summon a 7-colored fish.
You got it.
Fish for 18.
18.
And then Moth for Moth attack. Battle and damage step, rush recklessly.
You got it. You got it. Great game. Great set.
Oh my god.
So the whole time that I was on here, the card that I set on turn 1 was a Snatch Steal. I just had no way to lethal you. I just had no way to lethal you was the problem.
Jesus Christ, that thing really is glued to your goddamn hand, isn't it? Like,
it is.
Isn't it every single series you've played with one of us, you've pulled that card?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I don't know how this card keeps ending up in my pool, but just
and then,
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you saw that.
That's a nice pull. That's a nice pull. But yeah, I had the Snatch Steal. I was thinking about Snatch Stealing the Crab Turtle, but I just couldn't lethal you was the problem.
See,
I didn't want to...
The funny thing is the fact that, like, Snatch Steal's actually a really scary card, but Taylor of the Fickle kind of helps a little bit with it, because if I have another face-up monster on the field...
Yeah, that's the thing I was really scared of, is that is the entire reason why I didn't want to use the Snatch Steal until it was lethal. I was also sitting on this too.
Honestly, you did have a time wizard. Jesus.
Yeah, yeah, Magic Ruler was like super insane for me. Let me see. I got so many hollows.
See,
Like,
I kind of got screwed on it. Like, I hit... The only hollows I hit out of it were... Here we go. Let's see. I hit a Banisher of the Light. I hit 2 Black Pendant, the Spellbinding Circle, and then I pulled a Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. That was it.
I got a Serpent Knight Dragon. I didn't get both of the secrets this time, but we got them both between us, which is sad. Wouldn't it be nice to have that luck for the next set when the secrets are actually just insane?
I know, right?
I'm taking a look to see just how many hollows I got. It was crazy. I have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I think I got 9.
That's
10.
That's just
10.
crazy.
I know. Here's the scariest part. Oh wait, I think did you see them all? Yeah, I think you saw them all. Take a look at my graveyard.
Let's see. Mahavilo. Oh, you hit 3 Mahavilo. Holy hell.
I got a playset, yeah. I originally didn't want to play this deck, but then I saw, like, I have triple Mahavilo. I checked my Blue Eyes pulls for Book of Secret Arts. I'm like, there's no way I can't not play this. This Mahavilo is just swole. But good job snapping your losing streak. I am going to see what the Constellation Wheel has in store for me.
Right.
Great games.
It does. Now, it is still the 8 sets back, right?
Yes.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure on that one.
Yep. Just, wow, what a set, dude.
What a set. Whew. Alright, so we actually managed to snatch a match win, finally. So, that losing streak has been broken for now, and that means we actually get to spin twice for the prize. Now, I will point out, we do have the option of... I believe it is right now the option of going for Tournament Pack 1, or 6 packs of the current set. However, that would be a spin of a wheel, with those being effectively a 50-50, or a wild card. So honestly, I kind of feel like I'd rather spin the wild card, just because each rarity has a couple cards that I'm looking for, and honestly, I'd rather do that than take the random gamble. So let's take the first spin and see what we can hit. Now, because we're going up to 8 sets back, that means that I could still get something from Legend of Blue Eyes if I wish. Oh, let's see what we got. No, wait, oh, no, shit! Oh, no, I just realized that's not good. That's a secret rare. Oh, no. God, that's actually kind of rough on us. Okay, let me think about that one. Okay, so for the secret rare wildcard, we're going to go ahead and take a copy of Trihorn Dragon. The reason for that is really because of the fact that the other options we have are pretty crappy. I mean, we have Gaia the Dragon Champion, Gate Guardian, Thousand Dragon already, as well as Blue Eyes Toon Dragon. And honestly, I'd rather take Trihorn Dragon than Serpent Knight Dragon. Now, I will admit, I really wish this would have been the next set, because the next set's 2 secret rares are insane. But Trihorn Dragon, I guess, is actually not terrible 2850 is still pretty strong to beat over, so we at least have that. So let's go ahead and spin the second wheel and see what we can hit. Please, for the love of God, don't be secret rare again. That's all I ask. And it's going to be a rare wild card. And you know what? That's actually perfect because I know exactly what I'm going to get with that. So yeah, we are not even going to stop and question things. We are straight up taking a copy of Sangan because we are playing with pre-errata until the time in which it gets it. So we are going to have pre-errata Sangan now for effectively the next like 15 years or so worth of packs. So we're definitely going to go with that. And having a Sangan and a Witch together is going to be very nice. And even when Witch and Sangan get hit harder on the lists, we're still going to get to keep one of them in our decks anyway. So we are definitely